Hello everybody, it's Shy here, and today we're going to be doing a draft analysis of my Hive Weedle division draft. The Hive has three divisions. There's the top division, which is the beedrill division, the middle division, which is the kakuna division, and the Weedle division is the bottom division. I'm new to the league, so I started out in the bottom division. This is, as you can see, my first pick on screen, and before we go into the picks, I'm going to explain how the draft kind of worked. I had 10th pick, and out of 16 people in the bottom division, and this was the tier 2 pick, and all Mons have access to attacking Z moves. Z Weather is banned, Omni Boosting is banned, and Evasion is banned, obviously, and then you have one Z status user. As of this video, I don't actually have that decided, but probably by the time this video comes out, and might have it decided by then. I'm still between a few Mons, but I wanted to get the draft analysis done, so I'm going to do that now. So we picked Salamence round one. There's multiple reasons for why I picked this round one. The first stuff being that I didn't feel like it should have been tier two. It was, especially with the fact that it has allowed to have Z attacking moves. I definitely didn't feel like it should have been a tier two mon. If anything, it should have been the lower part of tier one since they separated it that way. But it still should. I think it should have been a tier one mon, to be honest. With its stat line plus the fact that it has access to Z moves. So the thing I'm super excited about is this thing gets Moxie, it gets Intimidate. Moxie's going to be great. This is going to be a great cleanup sweeper or even a setup sweeper, set up a D-Dance and be able to sweep teams with it. I'm excited to use this one, and also another reason for why I didn't end up going with anything else round one is because I didn't feel like any of my other picks, as you'll see, were a round one worthy thing. I was sniped a few times, so there's going to be some changes in my team, and you'll see that when I'll explain it when I get there. So yeah, this is my first pick. I went Salamence. I think this is going to be a great mon for this team. And I definitely feel like that with this mon, I'm going to be able to do a lot of different things, especially since there was only a tier 2, so my team, I feel, is like going to be a lot better than what a normal team would be. So, yeah. Moving on, we got round 2. We got Skarmory. Yeah, this is my tier 1 pick. I didn't really feel like Skarmory. I don't ever feel like Skarmory should go round 1, so I decided to wait till round 2. And I wanted Salamence above this anyway, so I didn't get sniped on Skarmory. I'm super excited to use this one. It's my first hazard remover on the team already. I got rocks and spikes with it as well. It'll be nice to be able to have access to that. And also the nice thing, it gets Whirlwind, so it can stop setup sweepers. It gets Roost, so it actually has reliable recovery. Has really good defense stat and a decent speed stat. Its HP's obviously isn't the best, but this mon's really good in league format, I feel. It'll definitely be a big addition to the team, and it gets the abilities, I think, Sturdy and Weak Armor. Those are the only... And Keen Eye, I think, is the other one. Obviously, those are useful. And this gets access to some really good moves, as I have already stated. And it also gets Brave Bird, which is nice as well. So yeah, this is my round 2 pick, and I'm hoping to use it as, obviously, what it's meant to be, a defensive, either hazard stack or hazard remover if I need it to be. So yeah. Moving on, we went into round 3, and still haven't been sniped at all. I went with Donphan, round 3. I wanted another good hazard remover, and I wanted a spinner. Also, I wanted a ground type, seeing that I already had... It helps pair with Skarmory with it having the electric and fire weakness. This isn't weak to fire, but it also doesn't resist fire, but it's immune to electric. And it does share weakness with Salamence, but it's not that big of a deal because you always need a ground type anyway. I love Donphan in league format. It's probably one of my most favorite spinners, and it's really reliable. It also gets access to rocks as well as knockoff superpower Ice Shard. It gets priority, so this is the first priority user I have on my team. I hope to this is going to be a good bulky pivot, I guess, and also getting up rocks and getting rid of rocks will be really nice, and I don't really think there's much to say about this. It's just a good hazard setter and a good hazard remover, and it can also be used offensively with its 120 base attack. So yeah. Moving on, round 4, we went ahead and went with a staple of drafts, at least drafts, no draft you guys seen, but drafts I have, is Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat is one of my favorite league Pokemon. I absolutely love having the fire electric typing, and having it stats pool is really nice, and it has really decent speed, and I don't know, I just really like Rotom Heat. So I went with Rotom Heat again as my fire type. Gives me a good Volt Switch user, allows me to have some momentum on the team a little bit. Has It can be bulky on both sides. It can be offensive as well. So yeah, I'm super excited to use this thing again. Like I've used this thing so much, and I feel really comfortable using this. So I'm super excited to see if Rotom Heat can do as well as it has done in the past for me. And yeah, that's all I really gotta say about that. Moving on, round 5, we picked Gardevoir. Fairies were starting to go pretty quickly at this point in the draft. I had already decided what my fairy would be because I knew I wasn't going to pick it till later, and I had a feeling that a lot of the good fairies would be gone at this point. And I was thinking about what typings I was missing at this point, and I wanted to go with Gardevoir because it gives me a psychic and a fairy type. It gives me a decent 80 speed, but it also gives me a nice special-ish wall if I want to use it that way. It gets access to Wish, which is nice to pair with like Donphan and Rotom Heat. It gets access to really good offensive move pool as well, and it can be ran like Specs, Scarf, Calm Mind is really nice. This is probably the fairy that type that I've been wanting to try the most, and also just a good fairy type in general. I definitely feel like it'll fit this team nicely, and I'm hoping that we can do some good things with Gardevoir. So yeah, moving on, we got round 6. We went with Drapion. This is the first time in the draft where I was sniped. At this point, I was wanting Sneasel, not Drapion. I was wanting Sneasel for one, its speed tier was really nice for my team, and 2, I was just wanting the nice ice typing that it carried, and the fact that Sneasel is probably it's a really solid tier 4 pick for draft league, but it got taken unfortunately, but Drapion was still sitting there in round 6, so it came to my pick, and I had taken some time before that to decide I was wanting Drapion. It gives me a dark and a poison type, so poison typing isn't something I've had up to this point. And yeah, it has good, decent 95 speed. It gives me T-Spikes access. It gives me a dark type with the ability to use Pursuit, and it only has one weakness being Ground, so that's super nice with the fact that I already have Ment, Skarmory, and Rotom Heat, so I already have 3 Mons that just ignore this thing's weakness, so I haven't used Drapion a whole lot in League format, but I'm looking forward to seeing how I can manage to use this offensive, defensive-ish threat. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say about this one, too. So, moving on to round 7, we went and picked Superior. This is another Mon that, up to, I think, round 6, actually, like, I think after this is where I had to repick some picks because I had been sniped a bit because of the Sneasel pick, and then I had to change some things. So I needed a grass type at this point, and Superior was still sitting there here in round 7. I guess it kind of makes sense. There's a lot better tier 1s to go with at this point, so I just saw this still sitting here, so I decided to go Superior. It has a speed tier that I've been missing, which is a higher speed tier of like 113, and it has access to Contrary Leaf Storm, and Contrary Leaf Storm is really good just because raising your special attack by 2 every turn when you go for a 140, 130 base move is really nice. Also has really decent bulk to it, so Subseed's also a thing with this. It's not super versatile, but I feel like Superior will be a good offensive threat to this team for people to still prep for, because Superior is always scary if you don't have a good resistance to it. Resistance to grass, and it also can run like hidden powers for certain months, so yeah. Round 8, I went ahead and went with Quagsire. A lot of people didn't like this pick. I was needing a good bulky water, and earlier in the draft is when I was going to pick my bulky water, and I got sniped twice. I was going to go with Vaporeon, and then I got taken, and I was sad about that, but I was also had a backup, which was Olomomola, and a few picks before mine, Olomomola got taken too. So I decided to change my draft plan a bit, and I got Quagsire, round 8. Thing's stats are not terrible. It has access to Unaware and Water Absorb. It gives me a Water Absorb user, which is really nice. I really like the Water Ground typing, and I really needed a tier 5 mod at this point, and because I wasn't sure where my tier 5, I technically had another tier 5 in mind for the draft, and I could have probably went with the other ones, but I didn't really like the other Water Ground types I had access to, and I also wanted a Water Ground type with Recovery, so I went with Quagsire. He gets Recover, he gets Scald, he has better attacks, obviously, so Scald's not going to do a whole lot, but then he has Earthquake as well. And he has access to Waterfall and Toxic, obviously. So, yeah, hopefully Quagsire can be a good bulky water type for my team and fill the role that I want it to fill. So, and prevent me from getting swept a few times, hopefully, because Unaware is a great ability. Yeah, so round 9, I went with Snorlax. Another critical point in the draft. I wanted Mega Heracross. And and Licky and Gengar as my last 3 picks over like a few of these months at this point, because I was like, I really wanted to draft Mega Heracross, and Licky plus Quagsire is fine. I would have a little extra points left over after the draft, but I'd be okay with, or actually I wouldn't have any leftover points because then I would have went Gengar. But I got sniped on Mega Heracross. I was a little sad about that because I was really wanting to use it, but ended up, I think, working for the better, I guess, at this point. So we got Snorlax, and Snorlax is a amazing defensive, especially defensive wall, and then gets access to Curse. So this thing alone can take on teams just with Curse Lax, because Curse Lax is just ridiculously bulky. Super excited to use this. The first time I've actually got a chance to use this, and I feel like it's going to fit with my team very well. And yeah, it's a replacement, I guess, for Licky in a sense, for upgraded Licky and downgraded my Gengar into something different. So we didn't end up getting a ghost type this draft, but that's fine. So yeah, I'm excited to use Snorlax. Its stats are pretty ridiculous. Really good HP. Defense is but its special defense is really, really good for what it has for base HP. So hopefully this thing will do well and gives me a good fire and ice resist, I guess, is another thing about it. So yeah. Moving on to round 10, we went with Mega Medicham. Like I said, I had originally planned to go with Mega Heracross, but then that got taken. And going into the later rounds, when I decided to pick Snorlax, I had saw Mega Medicham was still there, and most people had picked their Megas by now, if not everybody. And so I was like, Mega Medicham is still sitting there. I didn't really like the speed tier on this team, but gives me, I guess, more priority on this team. And Mega Medicham is just hits things really fucking hard. Like, it hits things like a truck. It's really absurd. It just doesn't really have good switch-ins most of the time. Like, a ghost type is your like one way to switch into this safely if you think it's gonna go for HJK, which it normally does. But this thing just hits super hard with pure power with 100 base attack. I love this mod in League format, especially because it's really hard to prep for because you don't really have good switch-ins to it. The only thing that makes it lack is its speed, obviously. But I have some things probably in the future I can play around with that. But I do have faster mons that can also help set up a Medicham away into like a team. So, but if this comes in on a slower mon, it can obviously pressure that team really hard and get a kill. So yeah, Mega Medicham, I'm super excited to use this again. I've used this once before, but I didn't really get to use it to great effect the first time, so I'm hoping to use it a lot better this time. Moving on to my last pick, I had spent a good amount of time figuring out this one because I was wanting something that was a little faster than what I've had, but I also had to be a tier 4. Also a typing I didn't necessarily have yet. I went with the bug type. I went with the Durant. This is 109 speed, which I didn't know when going into the draft because I obviously didn't plan on picking this. But when after I got sniped, I saw this got the 109 speed. So that was the speed that I was happy with, and having another steel type's okay, especially since I have Snorlax and Rotom Heat and Donphan. I don't feel like it's going to be a huge issue, especially since the only thing is weak to fire. Durant should be an interesting one. I haven't ever used this before, but I've seen it used somewhat in League format. I haven't seen it used to great effect, but we'll see how well it goes. And yeah, I'm excited for the first week coming up in like, I don't know, what day is it? It's the 9th, coming up in about, I don't know, I think 8 days. Yeah, week 1 will be starting in 8 days, but we started the draft early. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out this team and seeing how it goes. So that is the end of the video, guys. So hope you guys see you guys next time. Bye.